Welcome to Sacred Echoes of India. In this segment, we are going to talk about the ongoing trade deadlock between India and the United States, a deal that was once within reach, now hanging by a thread. What went wrong? Who's to blame? And can this collapsing negotiation be rescued before it turns into a full-blown fallout? India and the United States were inching toward a landmark trade agreement, something that could have reshaped bilateral ties. But as things stand, the deal is dead in the water, and all fingers point to Washington. Earlier this week, India was still hopeful. Officials in New Delhi were working behind the scenes to craft a comprehensive pact that went beyond just tariff tweaks. But now, talks have stalled. An Indian trade delegation was expected in Washington this month, but the trip was cancelled. Trump's trade envoy was supposed to land in New Delhi mid-August, also off the table. If this doesn't qualify as a breakdown, it's hard to imagine what does. And it's largely because of Trump's approach. Unlike many other countries, India came to the table ready to negotiate. New Delhi deliberately held off on retaliation. Yet, what did Trump do? He ramped up the rhetoric, calling India's trade barriers obnoxious, dismissing its economy as dead, and slapping a 25% tariff on Indian exports. This isn't negotiation, it's provocation. Publicly, American officials are spinning a different story. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin claims India slow-rolled the process despite initially engaging early. He even took aim at India's relationship with Russia, accusing New Delhi of not being a great global actor. Meanwhile, India's response has been measured. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal avoided threats but made one thing clear: India will act in its national interest. To be clear, India hasn't come to the table empty-handed. India cut tariffs on US whiskey from 150% to 100%, and on American motorbikes from 50% to 30%. These were targeted moves meant to appease Trump directly. India has dramatically increased its US defense purchases. Since 2008, it has bought over $20 billion worth of American military hardware, including high-tech jet engines and lethal drones. Overall, US energy exports to India are set to rise by $10 billion. Three big concessions, but even those aren't enough for Trump. New Delhi may be flexible, but there are red lines it simply won't cross. Two issues stand out, with agriculture being the most significant. Trump wants India to open its farm sector to US exports, especially soybeans and dairy. But that's a non-starter. Nearly half of India's population works in agriculture. While self-sufficient in food, India's productivity still lags behind the West. American goods backed by advanced tech and subsidies would flood Indian markets and devastate local farmers. Farmers are a crucial voting bloc, and any misstep could cost the ruling party in upcoming state elections. There is also the cultural angle. US dairy products often come from cattle fed on animal byproducts like pig blood, chicken litter, and even rendered meat. This difference in sourcing practices may raise concerns for individuals with specific dietary or cultural preferences. New Delhi has firmly rejected such imports. The US tried to push India into buying F-35 stealth fighters, but India has declined. The reasons are clear. First, the F-35 is tough to integrate into India's mostly non-American air fleet. Second, there is a catch as countries buying Russian weapons, such as India's S-400 missile system, are typically blacklisted from purchasing F-35s. Washington's message is clear: drop the S-400 or forget the F-35. India isn't playing along. Here's the bigger picture. Trump wants India to follow the Japan model. No tariffs on US goods and open doors to the American agriculture industry. India, meanwhile, wants a classic free trade deal, reduced tariffs on its exports, and strong protection for its farmers. These visions don't align, and they may never. What's needed now is thoughtful, patient leadership, qualities Trump rarely demonstrates. Without a major concession from one side, the deal is going nowhere. So as India holds its ground and Washington digs in, the trade talks remain stuck, not for lack of effort, but because of clashing priorities and political red lines. Whether either side is willing to blink remains to be seen. One thing is certain, this isn't just about tariffs, it's about trust, strategy, and the future of two global powers trying to find common ground. The next move could change everything. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insightful videos. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.